So a few days ago, ArenaNet announced a upcoming special live event set for August 30th. Apparently, this is going to be our first look at the Living World Season 5, or as they put it, the very first look at an all-new chapter in Guild Wars 2's Living World story. Now, we've known for some time that Season 5 is coming and would be the main new source of content going forward, and we learned this from the 6th anniversary trailer where they said,
"You can expect more great things from us as we move directly from Season 4 into Season 5.
And a few months ago, we got the What's Next for Guild Wars 2 post talking a little bit about the future of the game, and in the section talking about their philosophy, they said, "The Living World is the best way to provide our player community with regular content updates. Great features, new horizons to explore, and an engaging story that brings our world and characters to life." Normally, we would just see a post or a video trailer to give us an idea of what story and sometimes what features to expect in the next Living World season, and as I just covered, we've known that Season 5 has been in production for a while. So, what's up with the live event that, by the way, is estimated to be 45 minutes long? There are two more information nuggets that we can pry out of the What's Next for Guild Wars 2 post. Firstly, lately we've been scrutinizing not only our plans for Season 5, but our core development philosophy, and further down they touch on team structuring, stating content teams will have more flexibility to decide what makes sense for a given release. For example, we could focus on expanding the boundaries and content of an existing map if that would provide a better experience than creating a new one. Ultimately, this will mean a relatively steady release of new content that will allow us to continue telling the story of Tyria in exciting new ways. In light of this information, it might be safe to assume that Season 5 will be different from the previous seasons of the Living World. At the very least, it would explain the need for a live event when they could easily just release a trailer like they've done many times in the past. Admittedly, the Living World has grown a little bit formulaic in recent years, and maybe it's time for a change. Based on previous Living World seasons, players have grown to expect the following out of a Living World season. A season of the Living World is made up of around 6 episodes released every 2 to 4 months. Each episode advances the main story and adds a totally new map to the game, and each new map has new events, skins, currencies, and achievements. From a player perspective, an episode release looks like this. Play through the story, which usually takes a few hours, explore the whole map for completion for another hour or so, farm the new map for its new currency, and use it to unlock skins. This is where your mileage may vary depending on how many skins you're actually interested in, and once you're done with all that, you can continue to farm the map if it ends up being particularly lucrative, or if it isn't, you can return to farming maps that are, or play the older content that you enjoy most until the next episode comes out. For years now, this has been the Living World formula, and I think most players would welcome some kind of change. Unfortunately, at this point, the best we can do is wait for this live event for more information, and it's important not to get too excited about any specific changes you want to see before then. Still, I think we can at least guess at a few aspects of Season 5 and how it'll be different based on what we do know. We can hardly guess at the direction of the story going forward because, unlike previous Living World finales, Season 4 really didn't end with a cliffhanger. But since we did just deal with an Elder Dragon in Season 4, rather than immediately confronting the next one, we may get a more isolated story in Season 5, or so I originally thought. The information we got surrounding this event in August was delivered both on the ArenaNet homepage as well as through our email if you signed up for the newsletter. While the post on the homepage doesn't really leave a whole lot to speculate about outside of the new Living World logo that shows in both red and blue, the email actually shows a bit of concept art in addition to that, and there's a little bit more we can speculate there. As many have already predicted, it seems like we might be dealing with both Primordius, representing the red, and Jormag, representing the blue, in this new Living World logo. And while the colors really don't solidify anything all that much on their own, if you adjust the contrast on that concept art we got in the email, you can start to see the shape of what looks like a pair of eyes and potentially Jormag or one of the Elder Dragons. As far as the release and structure of Season 5 is concerned, it's a safe assumption that we won't get a new map for every single episode of Season 5, and releases should be more frequent. I think they made that pretty clear by saying that they could focus on expanding the boundaries and content of existing maps instead of creating new ones, and by doing so, this would result in a relatively steady release of new content. Because less new maps will be added, there likely won't be as many new currencies, unless those will be added to the existing maps they expand on, and with more frequent releases, we might see more than 6 episodes. Of course, we could always just see smaller chunks of episodes or chunks of maps being released at a time. That said, I think we can at least plan on a new map for both the start and end of Season 5, if only for the hype. Season 5 will obviously have a new mastery, as all Living World and expansion releases since Heart of Thorns have had them, and the last 2 mastery unlocks were all centered around mounts, so I think it's likely that they'll switch things up in Season 5. So instead of mounts, we could see long-requested features added through the mastery system, like player housing or fishing, but could also be more general improvements like the core tier mastery that added vacuum loot to the game. It's hard to say what the new mastery will be, but I'm honestly more curious about where we're going to get the mastery points required to unlock it. As of posting this video, we still have over 3 weeks to wait before the event, but I'd still like to list some questions that I hope to see answered when the day finally comes. I probably have too many, but again, they did say the event will be 45 minutes long. These are in no particular order, but with the focus that these will hopefully and probably should be answered in the live event. What's the release date for Season 5? Will Season 5 be tied to Path of Fire? And if not, will free-to-play or core players have access to it? How many episodes will there be, and how long between releases? What's the new mastery? Are we dealing with Elder Dragons or something else? To what extent will existing maps be expanded? With fewer maps being added in Season 5, will we also see faster raid and fractal releases, or perhaps PvP and World vs. World updates? What comes after Season 5, an expansion or Season 6? And with that, guys, we wait for August 30th. Of course, I'll be covering the information we get in that live event in a future video once we have it. Consider passing the time by discussing your thoughts on Season 5 in the comments, as I'm very curious what you guys are thinking. As always, thank you for watching any one of my videos. I hope you have a super swell day, and hopefully I'll see you in the comments.